There we go, finally. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Who was that? Seagrover. Yeah, I appreciate that. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot to. There's a manual button on the YouTube, and I forgot to go click it. That is my bad. We should be getting joined by YouTube folks now. Just went and clicked the button. Yeah, sorry folks. I that was on me. I totally forgot to go and click the go live there on YouTube. It doesn't. It schedules, but then it waits for me to click the button, and I totally failed to do that. That one's on me. Hopefully we're good now, though. I was just introducing the topic of what we were going to work on, which is inside of CircuitPython in Vectorio. I want to make it so that you can use hidden on the shapes like circle and rectangle and all those things. To give you an idea of what that would do, how's it going, Keith? Happy Friday. Paul SK, how's it going? Now live, yeah. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, and thanks again, Seagrover, for the heads up on that. Yeah, I totally did. Just got right into it. Forgot to hit the button there. So right now I have this display being drawn with a couple of Vectorio shapes, and to show you what I mean, let's also draw a display IO shape. So like we could get one from the shapes library. Maybe that's probably the easiest thing to just get a quick shape. I don't remember the exact syntax though, right? For creating one. Oops. Create one of these and just show like what's possible with the display IO shapes, which are bitmap based, versus the vector IO ones, which are not exactly bitmap in the same way. They use a little bit less RAM. Typically, they can be updated faster. Typically, things like that. They're kind of just more efficient because lots of the geometry is handled in C code in the core rather than Python code in these codes, in these rather in these libraries. Line, we don't really need lines. Polygon, let's just make a circle. So right now the two shapes I have one circle, I have one rectangle. They're both vector IO. How's it going, Axel Magnus? F1 is over. Friday night coding is here. Nice. Nice. Hopefully you enjoyed the races, and hopefully you can now get to enjoying some code. How's it going, Beautograph? Happy Friday. Let's go and get this one imported. Will this import for me? Not quite so well, huh? Yeah, okay. We can actually probably just steal that from here, right? .circle, import circle. We don't have splash, we have group. This circle is a different color maybe, so we should be able to see it. Yeah, okay, this circle is down here. So this one is made with display shapes. That is a Python library that's built on top of display.io. The blue one up here and this blue rectangle here, these are made with Vectorio. These are core built-in modules. All of the geometry for building these two shapes happens in the core in C code, whereas this green one here with display shapes, all of the geometry for it occurs in Python code inside of the display shapes library. So that's kind of the core difference between these two ways of drawing shapes. And to show you specifically what I want to implement, the display.io one has this idea called hidden. We can just say hidden true. The circle will not be drawn anymore. This one is now gone. So, and you can change it live as well. We could make a loop. We could hide and unhide over and over. You know, something like this, circle.hidden equals not circle.hidden. We probably should not make circle and circle, right? Maybe we should say vec circle. Doesn't matter too much, I suppose, but so change it and then sleep. Time.sleep. I didn't import time. Invalid syntax. Import. Latest toy. Ooh, that's a nice looking clock. Nice. I like the way you're text is like kind of outlined. Interesting. It's not coming back actually. Interesting. Did we? It's not circle hidden. Time.sleep. Hmm. Well, are we actually going back and forth? Let's start there. No. Oh, wait, time.sleep. This is not milliseconds? This is not milliseconds. No. Okay, that's what we're after right there. Okay, so now this one is hiding and showing. So you can update this over time in order to hide and show shapes. Would you like to be able to do a slice? Oh, would like to be able to do a slice in group, display group. Ooh, that would be pretty cool. Slice. So it would handle multiple. Yeah, that would be tricky though, because it could be more than one thing. Would be pretty interesting. I don't know how to hook. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to hook that up to have it, because it would basically, it would need to just like iterate over them and then access the hidden property on each one somehow. Would love if CircuitPython had a good I2C slave library. Gotta go C++ Arduino for that. Yeah, I think that there has been some work. I don't know the exact state of it. I want to say at least one of the ports, I thought there was some work on a peripheral, is probably the term that it is called, I think, in the core, unless it changed again, potentially. I want to say it was peripheral, though. Peripheral and device, maybe, or peripheral and main. But yeah, it's definitely not widespread, like everything supports it on every device, and it's fully featured and all that kind of stuff, so... could be that it doesn't work for a specific thing, or could be it doesn't work on a specific device or something like that. The thing is, so like if you have the C code for it, theoretically, you could help work on it inside the core. But yeah, I thought it would be a good option to have. I've not found anything regarding I2C and async. Yeah, I have not either seen anything specific around async stuff with I2C. Need to use iter, yeah. Ported. It definitely would need to iterate over them. I'm not too familiar with all the built-in like dunder stuff, so I think it's a timing issue. Oh, for async, it could be a timing. Yeah, I mean, it could be pretty tricky with I2C. I don't know how long does the like actual writing take. I don't know how long it actually spends doing work. Maybe it could be done in short bursts with async IO. So we can hide and show the circle just by setting hidden true and false, right? This is the display shape circle. So this is the display IO, the bitmap circle that's implemented in Python code, whereas this one that's implemented in Vector IO, we cannot, right? So we go vec circle, let's try to do the same thing, hidden equals true. It will either crash or do nothing. It will crash. It says attribute error, Vector IO circle object does not have the attribute hidden. So that attribute doesn't exist. We cannot set it to true, therefore, like, it doesn't exist. It doesn't do anything. We cannot use that as a way to hide the Vector IO shapes. Now, if we put it in its own group, so if we said circle group equals group, and we said circle group dot append vector circle, and then we said this is a display IO group, and then we put our group inside, our circle group inside of our main group, which I'm going to change the name of to be main group. Main group. We put our circle group inside our main group. Now we can hide the circle group. So in here, we could also go circle group dot hidden equals not circle group dot hidden. So this will work, and this will have the same visual effect, making the circle hide, but we have to have this extra group, which is not the end of the world, but it's not ideal. What we want is to be able to go vec circle directly and just say hidden, set it to true, the same way we can for the display IO one. Okay, that's where we're at. That's the problem we're trying to solve today inside the core. Would support moving microlab in array attributes into colors. Oh, into dot color attributes also. Support moving ulab attribute. Yeah, color. Well, you can into color attributes dot color. Like on bitmaps, or well, no, there's no dot color on a bitmap. On a what has a dot color? Like label and stuff like that, or the shapes? I guess probably display shapes maybe have dot color, do they? I'm actually probably more familiar with the Vectorio shapes than I am with the display shapes. And those ones, they don't have a dot color because they use a, well, I mean, the display IO ones use a palette too, but the display IO ones encapsulate the palette, whereas the Vector IO ones make you create the palette and manage it outside. Got in late, what display module is that? If you mean the device, this piece of hardware right here, this is an ESP Feather 32S2 TFT. If you mean the code, we're looking at some code that is Vector IO, which is a built-in module for making basic shapes in CircuitPython, and then the other code that we were looking at was the Adafruit display shapes library, which is the Python library that implements shapes rather than the built-in module, which is written in C inside the core. So that's a couple of different things. If you meant something else, let me know and I can try to clarify anything else. But how's it going, NearDoc? Happy Friday. Let's see, XY positions much faster. Or XY positions, be able to update your XY positions from a ULab array. Microlab. So I think we're gonna just, so we can probably start with just trying to steal this from TileGrid because TileGrid has this already. Let's find, where's the one where it lists, so there's this stuff, it's hidden in here. So this has a get hidden, a set hidden, a Boolean hidden. Where's the one that, this thing, okay, this is what I'm thinking. It's hidden in here, hidden. This has hidden, oh, it has hidden by parent as well, interesting. I don't know if we need hidden by parent, but maybe we should keep it and just do it the same way. Let's, cause like we are, cause like we don't have that right now. We don't have hidden by parent on our Vector IO shape. But like we saw a second ago that our parent, the group that we are inside of, can hide us. So like it's working without this Boolean inside the Vector IO shapes. Really what we want is the one that's gonna let it work on its own rather than from its parent. And my guess is this is probably vector shape. Maybe not. Would we need to put it on each of the 3 ones? Oh, okay, here's this. XY, pixel shader, eye shape. Area, 30 area, absolute transform. Clear index, draw protocol instance. So one thing that I will definitely admit to right up at the top here is I'm not really a C programmer. All the C that I've done is inside the core. I've gotten a bit better at it over time, but it's still not a thing that I'm like, can just sit down and do. So some of this is me fumbling my way through. I think that all of our shapes, circle, polygon, rectangle, I think these 3 shapes, these are essentially kind of extending or using this vector shape one. So I think that we could add the Boolean of hidden to this, and then we will be able to use it on each of the others. Because like this is also how we set the X and Y, the pixel shader. Oops. What is the colon? Is that default or actually know what that does? Well, hidden, we don't really want it to default to true though, right? We would want it to default to false. I don't know what that's actually doing. So we will definitely also need inside shared binding, we'll need those declarations for like set hidden, get hidden. That location, that X. I wonder why these are not yellow. Did I break something? We want to add these two functions, set hidden, get hidden. The only difference here is this will not be that, it will be a Boolean and it will be hidden. This one just gets passed itself. Okay, that should be fine. Anything else in this file? Maybe this stuff, let's see. Get set T? Yeah, we're probably gonna need this. Composable property definition for shapes that use vector shape. Feels like we would need that probably. Okay, so this code is inside shared bindings. This is like C code that interprets or like the C code that handles the functions and the arguments on the Python side. All of this stuff defines the get and set code for the X property. So we're going to make another new one of these, maybe just down here. Okay, I don't know what that means. Hardware, okay. We'll change this stuff, hidden. This is doing something to get the shape object. We don't need this new small int thing. Probably Boolean. We need like MP Boolean. Let's look in tile grid. Let's look in shared bindings, tile grid, see. Find the hidden stuff here. Does need, yeah, basically probably very similar to this. Is there no indentation in this file? Is that intentional? What happened to the indentation? It's gonna like undo all the stuff I've done now too. Why did that get all messed up? Okay, that is the code we're actually adding. And yeah, I don't know about the formatter just doesn't work. Try to remember not to do that. I kind of do it reflexively. Okay. We had our Boolean. We're not going to be doing layout tile grid though. Instead it'll be Vectorio, vector shape, get hidden, object bool. This will be hidden. This will also be hidden. Set hidden. Let's look in tile grid. Set hidden. MP object T. An object. This is still true. 100% sure though. Let's see, inside of here. We have self, and we're going to be calling MP object. So we're going to be calling set hidden, and then we can pass MP object as true. Shape set hidden. X was hidden. Based on the name of this, I'm not sure. Oh, well, right, we're not, yeah. Upper shape. Object is true, hidden. There we go. Then return none. And then we don't need this because we're not doing anything with X. Okay, hidden, hidden, hidden. Set hidden. Okay. So there's definitely more stuff we would need to do in order to make this actually work. Um, but I can't think of anything else specific that we would definitely need to do to make a build. So let's try it and see if I'm wrong, and then fix whatever needs fixed if so. That runs itself. Let's think about this a bit more. Shared bindings H, binding C. Oh, you know what I did probably forget is the thing I always forget where it has that list of properties. It's also weird though because it's like the vector shape one, which is not on the display IO side. Like TileGrid doesn't have a similar concept to vector shape. It just does all of its own stuff. Whereas vector shape is like the parent class of circle, rectangle, polygon for vector IO. So, okay, it thinks it made a build. Okay. So we'll see if we can install it, and we'll see if we can set hidden to true or false without it crashing now. So, because if everything worked, then like it will have the property. It will allow us to set it to true or false, but I don't think it will do anything else, right? I don't think it will actually hide when we set it to true. Like something crashed though. Code done running. Circle group is not defined. Ah. Probably don't need the print anymore either. There we go. Okay. Now we're back to here. We got a build and it didn't completely wreck everything. That's a good sign. So on our circle, can we now go vec circle dot hidden equals true, and then like, will this still crash or will this work now? Will still crash. Circle object has no attribute hidden. Okay, so that's going to be trickier then. Do we need to add it specifically to circle, shape, and rectangle? That doesn't feel... It doesn't feel like the right way to do it. We just miss... So I do feel like I missed the part where it lists a bunch of things. Locals. Why is this empty? Because like tile grid, this has all these things in it. Maybe we're not supposed to use vector shape for this. Maybe this would have to be on circle, polygon, and rectangle. But I mean, they must be matched up somehow because, like, for instance, circle, if we go and look at it, circle is not going to have set x and set y, for instance. Let's see where the x and y go. Vector shape, make new. Draw protocol instance. X. Hmm. Okay, so it needs to be on the circle. So maybe we don't need to define the functions for each of them, but we need to add it to each of their dict tables here. So that part will be repeated. I have no idea if we need to do anything more than that, or if that will just build. You know, I should be using J4 probably, right, or more. I have a lot of cores now. Should we stop it and then make a new one? Is it faster with more? Error, vector shape set hidden. Undefined source, vector shape C, undefined reference. What? Vector shape 200? Oh, it got the tick mark, I see. So where would that come from? Let's look at the one we modeled it after, which was X, and let's see, or Y, it doesn't matter, we can do Y. And how set Y, where does this come from? So we only have it once in this file. Oh, we never put it in shared module. C. Or here, actually. Do we need it here? This one doesn't have the, like, XY stuff. Most close to what we're doing. But I think in here it probably would need. Maybe? Yeah. Oh, check bounds inset. Check bounds inset. So that's actually a bit different. Shape construct, shape contains, shape get. Okay, here's shape get X, shape set X. I did it after location. I don't know if that will just exist or not. We might need to add that somewhere else. Would be MP pool. Oh, just bool. Will change. Set dirty is our version of full change, I think. Basically just want to go self hidden equals hidden. Need any of this stuff anymore. And set dirty will make it so that we hopefully refresh the state after doing this, so that it will get drawn again, or if you set it to true, then it will get undrawn, as the case may be. Its portion of the screen will get updated with the correct pixels, whatever they may be. Okay, let's see. Is that all we need for the next build? And so again, we still have not like made it actually hide the shape when we set it to true or false, but we could maybe actually set it. Wow, that was way faster. 6 seconds? Jeez. Okay. Yeah, so it like the functionality still will not be there, but we got a build as we saw, and we can install it. I think it will not crash when we set it to true or false now. So like we will have created a property that we can change, then we can start using that property to do stuff once it exists and works. So this is all kind of like the plumbing that you need when you want to put new properties onto built-in objects. You need to kind of set up the getter and the setter and all of this boilerplate stuff so that on the Python side, when you actually set or get that property, it knows what to do. Nice. So it did not crash. And we do have hidden equals true here. Of course, like I said, it's not working, right? Our circle is not actually hiding, but we set it to true, so, and it didn't crash, and we could change it back and forth here. Again, it's not going to make a difference, but this proves to us that our setter and our getter both work. I will go back and print just to make sure it's actually going true, false, true, false. There we go. Okay, so the last bit would be, for the circle at least, actually hiding it or not when it is going to try to get drawn. And the place where we do that... The place where we do that. So that is going to be probably inside shared module. Let's look for some stuff in here that's like if hidden. So we have hidden by parent. Maybe we'll use that. I don't know. I don't think we need it. Maybe we want to have it to be the same, but fill area hidden equals. Yeah, see, I don't know why they separate. It's almost like they wanted to know specifically the case when it was hidden by its parent, but couldn't its parent... Well, two things. Couldn't its parent just set the hidden property, and then, like, why do we need to know that it was set by the parent, not anything else, for one thing? For another thing, though, the way that hidden works with group is this doesn't need a Boolean. Group has an if statement inside of its refresh logic that says loop through all the objects in the group. If the object is not hidden, then get the pixels of it and put them in the thing so they get drawn. It doesn't really need to have a Boolean that says, like, I was hidden by my parent, because it just checks hidden. Return. So basically what we do is inside fill area, if hidden is true, we just return false, and then it will not get drawn. So fill area is right here. And so this is going to go on to do all the stuff to actually get all the pixels, figure out which ones get used and what color they are and all that stuff. If we make another if statement like this that returns false here, based on the state of hidden, then none of the rest of the code after it will get executed, therefore it just won't get drawn, essentially. So I think it probably makes a lot of sense to just do this right after this one here, maybe? This has got a couple, overlap. So this is actually doing the hidden check before the overlap check. Maybe we should do that. What is in here? Time stuff. Okay, so let's do it before the overlap check. And I guess we could have mostly the same thing. However, I mean, we didn't make this one, so we just don't need it. And then I suppose, do we actually need to make this into a Boolean? Can we not just grab this and do here? Give it a try. I cannot believe how fast that is building. Is there any sense in going higher than 8? Do I really need it to build faster than 6 seconds? Not really. Oh, hey, there we go. There we go. So our circle is now, it's on the opposite beat or whatever, but our circle, our blue circle, our Vectorio circle, is now being hidden also. So we got it working for circle. We just need to make it work for the other two shapes, which are rectangle and polygon, and I think that the only thing we really need to add for those two is that table, that properties table. I think that's it, right? Everything else is inside vector shape, not circle. One thing I should do is I'm just randomly working on main at this point. I don't even think I have a remote, so let's get a branch set up for this, because ultimately we're going to want to PR this. Get checkout -b. No, get remote add foamy guy paste, but change this. Oh, I don't know if this is going to be logged in or whatever. Oh, I did not run the make fetch submodule today. Maybe I should have done that. Remembering to add a branch for the code I'm working on is a thing I forget to do so often. Yeah. Some days are better than others. Some days I'm much further into the process before remembering that. Okay, get, so we should be fetched on Foamy Guy, so now get, let's check this, get checkout dash B, so new branch, Vectorio hidden, from Adafruit main, no track. Okay, there we go. Now we're on a branch. We can try to commit later. May have to go get a new token or something. See how GitHub wants to get into it. So let's go to back to shared bindings, which was where we changed the table for circle. Ict table. I think that's all we do in each of these. I wonder how the docs work. Ooh, okay, that printed out a lot of stuff, but it hasn't failed, so I guess we're okay. Slower build here. 14 seconds. Wow, okay. Bootloader mode. Copy the file. We gotta make this not jingle. I think, right? I don't think we want that to just ding every time. The expedition for another day, I guess. For folks that don't know, I got a new computer actually last week on Friday. I did that. Last week's stream was still from the old computer. This week's deep dive here, this stream here, is the first deep dive from the new computer. So I'm still kind of finding little bits and pieces of configuration that I want to swap out. And the thumb drive making a little jingle thing whenever it connects, that's one of them. So interestingly, it didn't do it for CircuitPy. Only did do it for Featherboot a second ago. Weird, I wonder why it didn't do it. Oh well, anyway, it doesn't matter. So we should be able to hide our rectangle now as well. You know, it is odd. Oh, right, this is why, because we set this one to true here. That's why they're offset. That makes sense, okay. So let's go rectangle hidden equals not rectangle hidden. Now our rectangle should blink as well. It is on the same cycle as our bitmap, and we can put the polygon back. Group is not defined. That's true, because I called it main group. Okay, so this is our polygon. Really the last thing we need to do is test it. Polygon.hidden. And let's put that on the cycle with the other one. There we go. Let's make the docs. I have no idea if it's going to show up in the list of properties for the shapes. Module named isort. I thought we made this before. Made this last week when I did all the setup for the tools and stuff. No module named isort. Hmm. Chevron and Chevroff. Could not import Sphinx. We must not have done this the last Saturday, I think it was. I streamed the setup process of this computer, getting my IDEs set up, getting my CircuitPython development environment, all that stuff. I thought we built the HTML inside the core, but I guess not. We definitely did for a library. I do remember that. I would have thought we had everything we needed. I thought we had done it, but I guess not. Sphinx. True. Normal site packages not writable. What? Didn't I just install something with it? Oh. Conversions none. No matching. Did I spell it wrong? This doesn't exist. Probably need to install something still. Contrib block dialog. So what's the specific thing? RSVG converter. Boy, this is very familiar. I feel like I've solved this before. It doesn't actually copy. Alright. Okay, it copies, but to like a different clipboard or something. There we go. Okay. Just made it farther. Maybe. Nope. Oh, yeah. Sphinx search. Cannot import extension Sphinx search. Is there a... Oh, you know what there is, though? There's like requirements dev, requirements docs or something. Yeah, let's do that. Probably need all that stuff. Okay. Hit it farther. The one thing is I made this scope. It does not include doc stuff. Oh, no, didn't build. RSVG command. Hmm. Let's add this folder to our scope. That way we can see it without having to show everything. Nope. Not show up. Where would that be coming from? Would that just be shared bindings? Ah, yes, this stuff. Okay. Oh, look at that. It even says. Should each, I mean, we're in the things for each one. Should it say, it should probably say, right? Let's say circle. Looks like it needs get item, set item, delete item, and slice. I think that slice handles the iteration. We're doing the slices. Item, set it. So get item and set item should be there on group already, I think. Delete item, that one I'm less sure about. Slice, I would assume we don't have yet on group. Get item and set item. Maybe delete item. I don't know where they would be. Where they would actually be coded from, though. Like the ones that handle the built-in square brackets. Hmm. Insert. Index. Pop. Remove. The del item, not remove. Urinary operator. Get item. Here we go. Set item. Delete item. Sort. Oh, this handles all three of those right here? Oh, there's your slice right there. Okay. So this would be where to add, maybe. Object sentinel. Value equals object null. Pop or set? Huh. Or none. And get. I mean, the if statements here must be deciding between get item, set item, and delete item, but I don't get the condition, how that like actually works out to be functionally choosing between those three. That must be what it's doing though, right? So like set item, delete item, get item. But I have no idea why it checks this. I think that slice handles iteration. Yeah, it would make sense for sure. Okay, where were we? I think, are we ready for, we're ready to make another docs build at least. Is it worth doing J on the make HTML? Does that matter? I actually do have Inkscape installed. But it's probably not. If Inkscape came with this, I don't think I got it on the path or whatever. So is this just a thing we can install? Why do these copy with extra stuff? This is a thing I've noticed a bunch. It does exist. Command line utility to convert SVGs. I'm gonna see if I get that same error. Nope, didn't get it this time. Nice, okay. Oops. Yeah, I never made an F6 refresh. There we go. Circle has hidden boolean, hide the circle or not. Polygon, hidden, hide the polygon or not. Rectangle, hidden, hide the rectangle or not. I do really wonder about the hidden by parent thing. Why does that exist? How grid has it? That did not. if we actually want to have it or not. I mean, two questions, I guess, really. Should we make it for our Vectorio shape since it exists for tile grid, which is kind of the most analogous thing that we're building from, sort of? Should we do it just because it's in tile grid? And then secondarily, like, does it need to be in tile grid? Could we get rid of it? Could we get rid of it inside tile grid and save some space? I don't know how much space, maybe not that much, I suppose, but so fill area here. If self-hidden is false, then we go inside and we do this, which looks like it's looping over the members, probably to me. Layer, each item it calls a layer. Layer equals native base. Check if it's null. If it's not null, then call fill area on it. Return true. Okay, so this is checking types. That's right, I do remember this. So this is saying, is the current layer a tile grid? If so, do this stuff. This is saying, if the current layer is a group, then do this stuff, which is ultimately, very similar things. We're just calling this fill area. Somewhere, oh, Vectorio is here. Okay, Vectorio, this one is if the layer is a Vectorio object, then we're doing this. So we're not even checking the hidden by parent here. It just gets handled completely internally inside of tile grid. You hide the parent. Are all the children hidden? It depends what you mean specifically. If you hide the parent, the children do not get drawn. But I believe if you were to like get the hidden property of a child, I don't think that it would like set it to true for you. So if you tried to access hidden and say like, is this thing hidden? I think it would say false if the parent was the thing that was actually hidden. I think that would be the same for Vectorio or tile grid, for instance, too, though. So let's actually try that, because I'm not 100% sure. And that's a good question. Maybe that is the difference. Maybe if it's tracking the hidden by parent, perhaps it is able to return true in that situation. I got all the requests. Yes, I am swinging back around to the PR. I have not made it back around to there yet, but that is on my list. Probably tomorrow I'll be taking a closer look into that again. I never did leave a comment. I apologize for that, but I did see the update on there that you had committed some more stuff, so thank you. Tomorrow I should check into that. And then if it was, do you want to prohibit unhiding the shape? Prohibit unhiding. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean. I think... Yeah, I mean, like if you're saying if the parent is hidden, then is there a way to show the shape other than making the parent not hidden? And I think the answer to that should be no. I think if the parent that's holding the shape is hidden, you should have to make that parent visible. Otherwise, you just cannot draw the shape on the display. There's only, you would have to do that. Now, you could make the parent hidden and make the child hidden, and then you could show the parent and the child would remain hidden until you flip the Boolean there as well. Then it would finally get drawn. I think that should and could be possible. I don't necessarily know that it would be super helpful. I can't think of a specific use case, but I do think it would be possible by default to the best of my understanding. Let's try on our circle, which is our display shapes one. Let's make a tile grid. Let's say tg group equals a new group from display.io. put the circle in it, tg group dot append the circle to it, circle right there. We're gonna then put the group in the main group on this one. And if we just run it like this, nothing changes. Like we added a group, we put our bitmap circle, our tile grid circle, our display shapes one, we put it into a group, but we didn't change anything about the way we're handling it. It's still getting hidden by itself. Everything still works the exact same. But now the question is, if we... So firstly, let's comment this. And then let's go tg group dot hidden equals true. That should make it so that, yeah, our tile grid does not get drawn. Our green one is what this one is. Child hidden, f-string, hidden, circle dot hidden. Child hidden, so it stays false. Okay, which I think that's okay as well, because technically, like, it's not being drawn. Kind of feels like hidden, but really the parent is hidden. So as long as, so we checked this with tile grid. We should do the same thing with Vectorio. Whoa. Good timing to look at the code with parent-child inheritance. Reading the language ref slice start stop length function creates a slice object. We'll need to get this. We'll need to get off this annoying iPad and try some stuff. I gotcha. Okay, so we added a group again, but did not change any of the logic. And so we want to check basically the same thing here, which is if we hide our group, in this case, actually, our child is hidden as well. We'll swap that here in a second. My goodness. This cat is got the zoomies, to put it gently, at just like 80 miles an hour across the house. Child hidden. This one will be vector circle hidden. Vector circle hidden. Oop, there he goes the other way. So this one should print true. We should maybe go like this. Vec child hidden true. But if we didn't actually set it like here, then it would be back to false. False, false, okay. So ours is behaving the same as tile grid, even though we did not make that parent. Really makes me think like we could possibly just get rid of that inside of tile grid, like hidden by parent, and just save a little bit of space. But maybe there is some use case that I don't quite grasp all the way. So in effect, here is where it gets checked, and it basically is just if self-hidden or hidden by parent. Draw protocol. protocol. Turn true. Hmm. Members? The one thing that is interesting is I thought there was a check here. I'm not actually sure then how it used to work. I'm not sure how group fill area. Not sure how group was able to hide the vector IO because, well, I guess it would be the group type. It's calling group fill area. But this is group fill area. Finish refresh? No. Refresh areas. Where to get? Sure, somewhere inside of group, it, like in the current mains, code that we haven't changed, somewhere inside a group, it checks the child's hidden, I thought, in order to work for Vector IO? Because Vector IO, before we made our changes today, I think fill area didn't have. We added this. How was that working before? Gotta go back to main, maybe. Chesterton's fence? Here ago, I wrote a list-like object that would let me create a list for a large database. Doesn't fit in RAM, but it wouldn't load it into memory until I needed a given item. Database was lots of files and would walk through them, yield a packet if it was within the slicing range. Skip it if it wasn't. Interesting. Didn't need to delete anything with pop or delete. Looked into delete item. Yeah, I've not done like anything with the Dunder stuff too much. Like Dunder string is pretty much the only one that I've done hardly anything with. So this just calls draw protocol draw fill area. Self.hidden equals false. I guess this is what makes it work for when the parent is. Yeah, okay, this is kind of coming back to me a little bit, actually. I think that this if statement was added in order to make Vector IO work for when the parent is hidden, but it also accidentally or coincidentally would have made it work for when the parent of a tile grid or the parent of another group were hidden. So inside of those fill areas in tile grid and group, it does not actually need to check that parent, that hidden by parent, because if the parent was hidden, then this would have equated to true, which means we would not have come in here, which means we never would have called fill area. So we'll never get inside of here anymore if parent fill area is actually true, as long as it actually stays in sync with the parent because of this. And I think this was added. I think this was added to make Vectorio work with hidden. On the parent, on the group, I should say. Draw set dirty. Oh, okay, we changed it inside set hidden. Interesting. Well, we just call set dirty. We're not actually calling set hidden by parent since we didn't create it. Set hidden by parent on group does the same thing because it doesn't really matter. And then yeah, this was our new if statement. So I think we could get rid of, unless there is like a case where I don't understand fully how it works. It is possible. But unless that's the case, I think we can get rid of like all the code dealing with hidden by parent. I don't think we actually need that on tile grid or group. Maybe I will tinker with removing it one of these days and see if the savings is actually worth it, see if it makes any sense, see if it breaks anything. Jim Edgar says, gotta run, take care. I think that was a while ago, so I probably missed you, but thanks for hanging out. If you are still around, either way, thanks, and I hope you do have a nice night and all that stuff. Let's see. Kind of a moot point since group is written in C. Enough trouble getting Dunder into Dunderland in Python. Yeah. Jumping into the C layer is something that always confuses me. Streams like this are nice as they help highlight the code that manages to jump between. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm kind of still very much in the beginning stages of understanding the code that goes between the two. It's actually fascinating because like to me it's fascinating. I've never like formally learned C, although C has syntax that's pretty similar to Java in a lot of respects, and I definitely learned a lot of Java. So I can kind of get by on the syntax without ever having actually learned C. The thing that makes CircuitPython C code easier to understand for me is knowing the Python side. So like I'm actually pretty familiar with the Python API for group or the Python API for tile grid or these vector shapes. I'm pretty familiar with the Python side of the API, and that in a strange way that like makes the C code actually easier for me to understand. Which is odd because it makes it so like this kind of C code inside CircuitPython that is this like Python implementation code is kind of the kind of C that I can read, but it's also the only kind of C I have any need or interest in reading, so it works out all right. Okay, we made our docs, everything was good. We hypothesize maybe that that hidden by parent doesn't need to exist. I don't want to muddy the waters on the Vectorio hidden with the whole hidden by parent thing, so I think what I'll do is try to make this ready for a PR by itself to have hidden on our vector shapes, and then at another time I will tinker with removing the concepts of hidden by parent and see what happens. See if it causes some unintended side effects that I'm not thinking of. See if it just works and everything is fine. See how much actual space it saves to see if it matters. Like on some of our smallest devices, if they support display I/O, if we can crunch out a couple of bytes here and there, that actually does add up. So that'd be pretty helpful. But if it's like not turned on those devices, or if it's not enough to be worthwhile, then maybe we won't do it. But either way, I will do that another time. And so we just need to make sure this is actually kind of ready to go as a PR. So for that, we want to... Is there a pre-commit? There was pre-commit for this, though. No? Pre-commit. There is. Okay. A few minutes. Formatting. Pass the second time. We didn't add any strings. Do we need, we should probably, this is one of the things I always forget to do. What happens if you set the wrong type? We probably need some amount of validation going on here. Firstly, what happens when you set a group hidden equals, I don't know, a string? What happens when you do that? This works fine. Vec child? Vec group? Does not seem to have any kind of boundary checking. Interestingly, that's false. Or, oh no, it's true, it's true. It doesn't get shown. So I guess it's just doing truthiness? No? Because that would be false. Or... No, okay, it is. Yeah, it's doing truthiness. So empty string equates to false, therefore hidden is false, therefore we draw the thing. Non-empty string is true, therefore hidden is true, therefore we don't draw the thing. So then for numbers, it would also be like non-zero is true, 0 is false. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine for the most part. I mean, you could argue maybe we wouldn't want to allow that, but like we'd want to raise a value error or type error. I could also see some code making use of that in some way, though, maybe. Are functions true? Is that line actually there? That was not what I expected. Is that just a fluke? It's just a fluke. Okay. Functions are true. Can they ever be false? Are they false if they have nothing inside them? Are there any other rules around it? This is kind of several layers down the rabbit hole. It doesn't actually matter to this, but now I've piqued my curiosity, Python function truthiness. Is this truthy and falsy function? Cool. Values. Actually list functions. Without functions are true though. All right, well, it's my guess would just be that functions are always true, but I don't know. Doesn't really matter the grand scheme of things, but so we probably have the same behavior at least. We saw what groups do. Groups don't have any kind of type error or anything like that, so on our vectors, we can just go rectangle. We'll just make sure the same stuff works. Hidden equals empty string should be false, therefore we show the rectangle. Non-empty string should be true, therefore we don't show the rectangle. Non-zero number would be true, therefore we don't show the rectangle. 0 would be false, therefore we do show the rectangle. Didn't test it before, but empty string or empty object, these would both be true. False, I mean, they would be false, therefore we do show it. Whereas an object with anything inside of it would be true, so we don't show it. Yeah, we pretty much have the same behavior there. Okay. Imagine functions are always true by default. That would be my guess as well. Probably how they get returned automatically. I wonder if there is any kind of like empty function or something though. Like numbers, for instance, like all numbers except for 0 are true. I wonder if there's an except for with functions or if they just are all true. Strings are kind of the same way. All strings except the empty string are true, and then the empty string is false. So it's got that same kind of like except this one type thing going on. I wonder if functions, there's like a null function or something. Probably not. I mean, I guess there's none, but we didn't test none. Well, none's falsy, so it'd be pretty straightforward. I don't think that would actually do anything different. It would just be false and therefore showing. Yeah. Okay, so we ran pre-commit. I think we passed the last time. Push this. Let's double check our changes. Just make sure we don't have any like many extra blank lines or anything anywhere. Good here. Same here. Same here. Bit more going on. Stub checker does not approve of these shared properties. I don't know what that means. Hidden boolean, hide the shape or not. So we do have 2 lines between here, but only 1 line's here. But we do have 2 up here, so we probably should have 2 here. Match these. And then we should keep our 2 at the end, which we already had. These only have 1 line between them. So probably do that. Same here, probably. Anyway, Adafruit Learn Guide has a bit on lambda functions. They call the function with no name. Lambda functions. There's an interesting thought. Yeah, if it's an anonymous, like anonymous function, maybe. That 2? No, that's just 1. Okay. So this one, empty line is not required, but it is like, it does help add space between properties that are sort of partners, because this is like the getter and the setter together, and all of them are in those pairs. I think we leave that extra space there. We added hidden to these composable property definition. Yeah, we'll say the way that circle, polygon, and rectangle utilize vector shape, I don't have a full, I don't get all the way. I get conceptually that it does, but not the nuts and bolts of how. Like, it feels like it extends it. I don't know if that's actually the relationship, but that's kind of what it feels like. Okay, just had the hidden here, and that's it. But the only other thing that I wonder is, what is this :1 doing? Because that feels like it would be a default value, right? And we would want hidden to default to false, not true. But I mean, it must be defaulting to false because we're showing all of our shapes and we have not explicitly set any of them to true, to false, rather. The backwards nature of hidden gets me every time. I almost wish it was like called showing instead of hidden, so that it'd be true and be showing rather than has the opposite relationship. Like when it's false, that means it is showing. Yeah, so we're not, I mean, we're not setting it, so this must not be the default, but what is it? And do we want it? Because none of the rest of these do have the colons. Type def struct. See, this is one place where my C, type def struct colon. This is one place where my lack of C. Oh, no, is it number of bits? In which case 1 would be correct to store true or false. Bit fields in C. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, I guess we probably keep that. I don't know why none of the rest of these have them, or if it matters, but it is true that we only need 1 bit, and I guess, I don't know, would we use more RAM if we didn't do that or something? I'm not sure. Okay, that's fine then, I think. Okay. Let's see. Let's say self-hidden. Implement self-hidden property for vectorized shapes. Because we used to be able to do it from group still, right? We could do it from the parent, just not the self. Now, with this change, we'd be able to do it from the self, though. Vectorio? Vectorio? Ah, yes. Really, this won't work. One second. I'm gonna do this for a minute. Almost there. Ah. Oh, just read org workflow. Did not? Okay, 1 minute. We gotta get logged in here. Okay, we have this now. In the oh, okay. We have on the screen. Okay. I don't even know again. Oh, just okay. Now let's close a million things. Close this. Close this. Anything else open we need to close? No. Should be okay. Rest, I think. Okay. This thinks it pushed, so let's double check. And we'll probably wrap up here pretty quick as well. Here we are. Did actually push. We don't need necessarily all of this stuff. Colon 1 in a C definition is the width of the field, only 1 bit. Nice. Thank you. And that does track for a Boolean. We want 1 bit, so it does make sense. Let's see. Okay. That one is in. Got our hidden capability. We'll see if it passes actions on GitHub or not. We may need to do some tweaks if the actions fail. Maybe there's something, could be something different in my pre-commit, or who knows. Like, usually when you get it to pass local, it should be okay remote, but sometimes not. Maybe the sizes, maybe we introduced too much size and now it's too big for some builds. We'll see if those pass or not. If so, then we'll see what kind of review we get, if there's anything we need to tweak in there. We'll check back in on that later. I think I will wrap it up for here, but before I go, since we did get cut off at the beginning of the stream on YouTube, again, that was my fault. I just didn't click the go live button. But because we had the intro get cut off there, I did want to make sure to say here at the end, thank you, of course, to Adafruit. This is their website, adafruit.com. They are a hardware and software company based out of New York. They design and manufacture and sell little electronic devices, breakouts for components like displays or storage or sensors or buttons or lights, beepers, levers, knobs, all these things. They create breakouts and sell them. They also create the microcontrollers themselves. The Feather device that we were using to test this is an Adafruit device. This is an ESP32 S2 Feather TFT device, which I like because it's a nice small form factor. It has the Feather form factor, which has built-in battery charging and a standardized set of pins that there's lots of additional add-ons that work directly with this pin format. And this one also has a screen on it, which I, of course, quite like because I do a lot of stuff with Display I/O. So Adafruit made this device. So thank you to Adafruit for paying the folks who work on the project full-time and folks like me who work on the project part-time. Thank you to everybody who purchases hardware from Adafruit so that they can continue paying all of those of us that work on the project. Thank you to all of you for watching this program. Definitely appreciate all of you watching and hanging out in the Discord and the YouTube chat with me here on Friday evenings. I will be back. For folks that don't know, I stream on Saturday mornings as well. So Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. That is when I will be back for the next stream. We might cut it a little shorter tomorrow than normal. I do have some other stuff that I think I will be getting into tomorrow later in the day. So we might need to cut it short a bit on tomorrow's stream, but either way, I will be back around 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow for the next stream. That'll be on my own channel. You can follow me on Foamy Guy Twitch if you want notifications. I'll also post the links in the live broadcast chat here on Discord when I get ready to do that. So the YouTube and the Twitch links are there together. Thanks for the stream. Hidden capability was the single roadblock to converting some widgets. Nice. I'm glad we got that out of the way then, for sure. Very interesting tonight. Thanks. Yep. Thank you, Axel. Thanks for being an amazing coder and live streaming your effort. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the kind words. Definitely appreciate it, and thanks for your work as well in the code, right, and requests and all of this stuff, and all of the things all the projects you've shared, and all that stuff as well. So, thank you to everybody for watching. I hope everyone does have a good night and a good weekend and all of that. I will catch you next time, which again, that'll be tomorrow morning for me if you want to follow along then. Otherwise, I will see you later. Next week, we'll be back for another deep dive at the same time.